Good evening. Welcome all. My name is Dr. Tillery. Thank you again for joining us for another Real Talk session with Roberta's House. Today's topic will be on root causes of chronic disease and lifestyle changes. I think this is a very important topic. So thank you guys for joining us. And I'm excited again. I'm excited every time we get on here and we get an opportunity to process and really kind of talk through some different topics that's on people's minds, but sometimes they don't get a chance to share. So today's guest would be Lori Brunson. I think some of you guys might have seen her before, and she's a receptionist actually at Roberta's House, and I'll let her tell you about that. But she's also a certified wellness coach. In addition to Miss Lori Brunson, I will also have Miss Edmonds, LaJuan Edmonds, and she is actually one of our survivors who participated in a group session with Roberta's House. So welcome, ladies. How are you guys doing this evening?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Wonderful. I'm excited about you being here. I love this topic. And Lori, you and I have done this topic over and over again.
We have. Yes, we have.
I just love this topic, and I love what you always have to bring to the table.
Thank you.
So I want to start again. For those of you that do not know Lori Brunson, she can talk a little bit about what she does at Roberta's House and who she is and about what she does with this topic.
Absolutely. So thank you, Paulette. Again, it's always exciting to be here. So a little bit about me. My name is Lori, as Dr. Tillery has stated, and I do have a couple of roles. I am affiliated with Roberta's House by working at the front desk. I am also a certified wellness coach, and Dr. Tillery and I have worked together where I've taught the homicide transformation groups in a program that I've created called Food Equals Mood. And we've had great success. And when I say great success, I don't mean just my teaching. I'm talking specifically about the survivors grasping the information and making real life changes that will affect them, their family, and their community. So it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori, for sharing that. Ms. Edmonds, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what brought you to Roberta's House?
Well, I came to Roberta House back in, I say in March, maybe April. But when I came to Roberta House, I applied for Roberta House. I lost my daughter, Dominique, she was killed August the 3rd, 2019. And I had was told about Roberta House. So I came to Roberta House where I seek assistance, help going through my hardship of losing my daughter. However, I came to the class the first time, and then I joined it a second time. And it's very refreshing. I gained a lot of interest of function, opening up more. I relied on them each Wednesday. And then when we started the second, I relied on it on Thursdays. And it opened me up to understand the real means of being a grieving mother. So I found my voice when I joined Roberta House.
Wonderful. Yes, and I can second that. I've worked with Ms. Edmonds, and she has truly been a role model for her peers in her group sessions. And so we have definitely enjoyed having you a part of the session. So thank you again. Thank you, ladies, again, for joining us tonight for such an important topic. As we talk about root causes, I mean, because we can talk about a lot of different issues and we can look at chronic diseases, but I think it's always important to be able to understand what the root causes are. And once we identify what those root causes are, then I think it's important to look at interventions and how we can change some of those things that we are impacted by, particularly in the urban population. So I want to start with Ms. Edmonds. Ms. Edmonds, you shared with us earlier that you are, or have participated in the group sessions. And so that means that you participate in a session with Ms. Brunson in the past. She usually gives off a lot of great information that we can use. So, but before we do that, I want you to talk a little bit about just accessibility. We talked about earlier you being able to connect with resources within your community, raising your children and what that was like, and whether or not you had stores that offered you different types and options when it comes to food in general. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, yes, I can. In my time growing up, I learned a lot about eating healthy throughout my grandparents, great grandparents. I'm a person who always curious. And as I grew older, raising my kids, I try to do the same health thing by trying to get the right things for them to eat as healthy foods. I mean, it was kind of hard because living in the area, in the city, they didn't have health stores around in the area to purchase things. I mean, my grandparents, they grew their vegetables and stuff like that, but, you know, in the inner city, kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
The Giants wasn't around. Whole Food wasn't around. Most likely, if I had to go and get fresh vegetables or fruits, I would have to catch the bus to transport down to Lexington Market or one of the markets to get fresh, you know, vegetables, fruits, fish, things that was good for my kids. In the area of the inner city, there were side stores that, you know, didn't sell healthy things for the kids. Either chicken boxes or bars, places to go. And then people start breaking up as far as families sitting down at a table to eat together, eating the right kind of foods, you know. So as time went on, basically, I'm from old school. I'm going to always be in search of something that's good for me. So the basis now, it's like the inner city don't have the restrictions of going places to get healthy things. They don't take time out to find about healthy things that's good for them, which bring them to being sick. Cancer, you know, Alzheimer's, all kinds of stuff that would affect their body, to a conflict of not knowing the health, the reason of eating healthy foods.
Well, great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so, Lori, let me come back to you for just a second. I know as we start to look at nutritional factors, I think you had mentioned from the last time, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think we discussed some data. So while I try to pull up, I have some information. I want to pull that information up. Can you kind of discuss the data that you pulled up before regarding something similar to what Ms. Emmons was talking about, you know, specific communities and life expectancy? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So data that we did for the survivors of homicide, we found that there's a 20-year life expectancy difference in Baltimore City. And that life expectancy difference is from Clifton Berea to Cheswold cross country. And those areas are just about, I think, I don't have the research in front of me, but I think those areas are just maybe about 7 or 8 miles apart. But the data shows that life expectancy is a 20-year difference.
Exactly. So I want to take a look at and show you guys something really quick when it comes to life expectancy, much what Lori was talking about. So first, let me go to the 10 leading causes of death. Heart attacks, cerebral vascular disease, accidents, respiratory disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, influenza, and pneumonia. I don't know now where COVID-19 would fit at, or if it would fit on this particular scale at all. Septicemia and nephritis or nephrosis. So those are the 10 leading causes of death, particularly as it relates to Maryland. What I wanted to do was look at Baltimore City versus Baltimore County. So in Baltimore County, we can see that for whites, it's the life expectancy is 78 years old. For blacks, is 78, also in Baltimore County. And for all races, is 77 years old. But when I look at Baltimore City, the statistics are alarming. The whites is 72, well, it's almost 73% here. And for blacks, it's 76. I think that's kind of reversed actually, is 72 for blacks and 76 for whites. And for the overall races, all races is 77. So when we see these type of data, and these alarming factors, we do understand that there are some different things that we might be able to do to make changes, particularly as it results to nutrition, and just something as simple as changing our diets could change our hypertension, could change diabetes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you talk to your providers, they'll tell you about those things. But what we recognize at Roberta's House, that all these things impact the way individuals grieve. We wanted to look at how individuals, whether or not they were eating, or were they eating the right foods, particularly during time of grief, because we know that a lot of times dehydration comes in place. Some people eat and some people do not eat at all. So this is where Lori came into place, and she started introducing us to all these wonderful facts, and we started to learn more and more about what we should do with our bodies, particularly when we're grieving. And so we were really excited about that and sharing that information with our survivors as well as the staff. So I'm going to bring in the expert, Ms. Lori Brunson, as you talk about nutritional factors and how it can actually change the trajectory of a person's life.
Yes. So that is a great statement, and it's so true. What science tells us is that about 80% of chronic illnesses can be prevented. And there's hope even if you have a chronic illness, because what we know is with nutrition and lifestyle, some of those cases can definitely be reversed. And so we're going to look at some things that will help us. All of the chronic illnesses, Dr. Tillery, that you read, most of those, I think maybe except two, would meet this category in being able to be addressed with nutrition and lifestyle. So before we begin, I do want to take a moment to make a disclaimer. I want to say that this is not medical advice. Okay, this is education. What I'm going to present is for educational purposes only. So please consult your physician before you make any lifestyle changes or nutritional changes. Okay, so let's begin. How do we live longer? Okay, and what we're going to find is the answers. I want to say when we all got together a little earlier on a call, LaJuan said it the best. She found healing right in her kitchen. And so that really, you said it absolutely the best. That is where your healing begins. We need to heal at a cell level. And the only thing that is going to heal our bodies or reverse cell damage is nutrition. We'll look at some lifestyle factors that can greatly help, but nutrition is the key. So maybe after we're done today, you'll go out and have that big salad, right? Or that green smoothie. We're gonna, yes, we will start with vegetables. Well, what is so great about vegetables? Vegetables are high in vitamins, they're high in minerals, they're high in fiber, and they're low in sugar. So they won't cause insulin resistance. And let's talk a little bit about those vitamins. I'm just going to name a few, like vitamin A, very important for optical health. We need it for our vision. We need it for our immune system. And what about our B vitamins? All of those B vitamins, well, they help to convert food into energy. And that's where you get your metabolism. And guess what? The vitamin B12, it actually assists the body in making red blood cells. And it's those red blood cells that actually oxygenate our body. We need oxygen on the insides of our bodies, okay? I'm gonna look at one of the minerals, and that's manganese. Manganese is called a trace mineral because your body doesn't need a lot of it. But here's some things that manganese does, and I'm gonna read some of these. It supports bone health, prevents high blood sugar levels, supports lung and respiratory health, and speeds wound healing. And manganese can be found in black beans, chickpeas, white beans, brown rice, macadamia nuts. But basically, aside from vegetables, it can be found in your nuts and seeds. And Dr. Tillery, as you mentioned, with COVID and the coronavirus, we need all of the support that we can get
Yes.
to shore up our immune system and our immune health. Well, let's talk a little bit about vegetables and cancer, okay? Because that's a big one. I want to tell you guys about the #1 food group for fighting cancer, and that is your cruciferous vegetables. Well, what in the world are the cruciferous vegetables? Well, that's your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, mustard greens. These are so important for anyone's diet because it is these cruciferous vegetables that actually make a compound called sulforaphane. So when these vegetables are raw, and if they're chopped or chewed, they have two compounds that come together that make one compound called sulforaphane. And listen to this, sulforaphane is proven in studies to prevent cancer cells from forming and expressing. And guess what? Sulforaphane is also proven to kill existing cancer cells and slow tumor growth. Is that amazing or what?
That is amazing.
Yes. And so while we are talking about chronic illnesses, I want to bring up okra. Okra is amazing for blood sugar levels. It reduces blood sugar levels. It lowers the LDL, which is our, I'm going to get all into the LDL and HDL when we get into cholesterol, but the LDL is known as bad cholesterol, and I'm going to challenge that. So you guys hang in there with me. I'm going to challenge that when we get to cholesterol, okay? But something as simple as making okra, adding it to your food, making gumbo, making okra water. A lot of people that I know that have high, issues with high blood sugar, they'll make okra water, and it really, really makes an impact.
So let me stop you for a
Yeah.
second.
Yes.
Okra water? That's
Yeah.
the first time I've heard
I
of that.
know, Dr. Tillery, I know. So what you do is cut off the ends and put the entire okra in water. So overnight, some people say about 8 hours, but definitely overnight. After it's done soaking, then you squeeze out the pulp that's within. It'll be very gel-like, and you drink the water. And so you get the benefits that way.
Interesting. So Miss LaWan she's shaking her head. It sounds like you have tried this before.
My dad, God rest his soul, I did taste it, and it wasn't a good taste. I was greedy. Being greedy at that time. He did it. He cooked it also, as well as he put it in water. He said it was very good for you, but when I was being greedy, I asked for it. I tasted it, and I was like, no. So, but it's good for you.
It is. And while we are on good for you, I want to tell our listeners that Miss LaWan shared something that's great for everybody. And I would love, Miss LaWan, if you would share that regarding sea moss. Yes, please.
Yeah, sea moss is rich in vitamins and it's minerals. Sea moss is loaded with nutrients that are vital to the human body, such as the bromine, sulfur, calcium, iodine, magnesium, phosphorus. It has all types of vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. It basically help your whole body. To the hair, I had made a face mask. I made the gel. You take it twice a day. You make the mask for the face. You can put it on your body to wash with. It's good for every part of your body. I'm just so excited because I found something that has you the nature of life. It changes the whole prosper of your life that you can depend on, and not only depend on pills, not saying that you can't, but by me talking to my doctor, she told me to keep it up, doing what I'm doing. I drink tea. You also put it in tea, and it's great for your immune system. With the corona going on, I drink that 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. It cleans you up. you know, anything that you do for us exercising or whatever is very helpful. Sea moss is very helpful. And the only why I speak about it is because I had to try it first after reading all the information on it, and it does work. It works. It softens the face. It makes the hair grow. It did a little bit of everything.
That's
So
interesting.
that's why I had to put that in.
Did you notice any, Ms. Lawan, did you notice any differences maybe with your energy level?
Well, yes. Before I was doing black seed, I was drinking tea, but my energy level is high. My cholesterol, they said I was, my doctor said that I was borderline diabetic. My cholesterol was high. I had high blood pressure. All these are had now. I no longer have it. So I am truly happy for just even looking it up and trying it out. And I'm not going to speak until I first test it myself before I can let anyone else know. So that's why I had to let you know about it, because it did. My energy is extra high. I can get around like, 15 again.
Wow.
And you know, I said that I have to incorporate that. So if you're moving around like you're 15, I'm going to incorporate it sooner rather than later, okay?
Yes, it's real good. It's real healthy though. Your energy level as far as like sleeping pattern, you're not real tired, your cholesterol, your high blood pressure, everything. Mine's has been good for the last 7 months. 7 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
Good reading when I go to the doctors.
It really goes, and that's a testament, Ms. Lawan, because it really goes back to the nutritional foundation of health. Our cells need to be fed at the cellular level. And I think you guys have heard me say this, we need cell food, not soul food, not unless it's vegan soul food, okay? But we need cell food, not soul food. And your cells are benefiting. You're fed at that nutritional level. And so thereby the minerals and the vitamins, you're able to have the cellular health. You're able to, your cells are able to regenerate. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Also too, when you do the smoothies, you can put it in a smoothie as well.
Great
I know you have the chia seed, you have the flax seed,
yes,
but the sea moss,
that's a great idea. That's
yogurt as well.
Idea. Yeah,
you can mix it in anything.
So, Dr. Tillery, your famous question, are you going to ask? How
yes,
does it
taste? I'm going to ask. Taste. What does it taste like?
It don't have a taste. Now, I took strawberries. They had elderberries. It's hard to get elderberries. Very hard to get it. I got some elderberries. It was a shots. That gives you a lot of energy, elderberries with the sea moss. But the sea moss, once after you mix it up, you can mix strawberries. I mix blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. You can mix all that because you know the raspberries, the berries itself, you know what that does too. And it helps. It gives that taste. But the taste, to be honest with you, it's like plain. So when you put a little fruits in it, it gives it a little taste, but you know, you'll get used to it. Because when I first tasted, I'm like back there with my dad, but I kept on going.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And as we continue to talk just a few more seconds about vegetables, the nutritional value, we look at nutritional nitrates. Now, this is not the chemical nitrates that you see in packaged foods, but these are actually nutritional nitrates from vegetables like celery and beetroots and spinach and things of that nature. So these nutritional nitrates have shown to have healing and restorative effects on our blood vessels, okay? Now, also in our vegetables, we have chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is the natural green pigment found in our leafy greens. And you know what it does? It cleanses toxins from our blood. So all of these things are amazingly helpful for chronic illness. And what science tells us is that in a chronically ill body, It takes about 9 to 10 cups of vegetables, that's per day, to promote cellular healing. Yeah. And so our next category is fruits, and Miss LaJuan spoke about that just a few minutes ago. So our fruits are amazing because they're high in fiber, they're high in antioxidants, some are high in sugar, but they're lower in vitamins and minerals compared to vegetables. But that's okay, because the power in fruit is the antioxidants. But I'm going to talk about fiber first. So fiber, again, fiber is found in our vegetables as well. Fiber is great for the body. It feeds our friendly bacteria. It also binds toxins that are in the gastrointestinal tract and removes them from our bodies. Fiber reduces inflammation and lowers cholesterol. So again, fiber is amazing for our bodies. The power in fruit is the antioxidants, but let me explain what a free radical is. A free radical is a molecule that actually does cell damage. So we get a little bit of free radical damage anyway, just as a byproduct of what our cells naturally do from cell function. However, the detriment for free radical damage is sort of the things that we encounter every single day: air pollution, toxins in our food, toxins in our water, all of those things, chemicals in our foods, all of those things create free radical damage. Free radical damage damages our cells. Damaged cells produce chronic illness. But here is where the power comes in. Fruits are high in antioxidants. Well, what do antioxidants do? They stop free radical damage. And in some cases, they even reverse it. So isn't that amazing, guys?
That's amazing. And let me ask you a question, Lori. So with the free radicals, how does age impacted by that?
I think that's a great question. I have not personally seen a study on that, but just off of the top of my head, okay, I would say free radical damage could be found more in our elderly population. Why? Sometimes as we get older, we don't eat as much. And when we do eat, it might not be the most nutritious things. So I would say for those reasons, it could be found more. Free radical damage, different things in terms of like our fruit intake. I'm thinking about people who are in assisted living. You know, they can't control what they are eating. So are they getting the fruits and the correct amount? Are they getting the vegetables and the correct amount? So I'm just sort of thinking off the top of my head, I would answer it that way.
Well, that's a good point. I think that's a great answer. And I think you were talking about accessibility. I think LaJuan talked about that a little earlier, particularly those individuals who are living in the urban population, because I gave that data related to life expectancy, but also looking at accessibility and affordability within our communities. If we have food deserts, you know, and I think, Lori, there's a new name you told me earlier.
Healthy food priority areas.
Yes, so we're changing that from food deserts, but food deserts are particularly those areas that do not have those stores that LaJuan talked about earlier. You know, they do not, particularly when we look at our surrounding communities, there are not a lot of giant food stores. I have not seen a Wegmans in particular zip code areas. So that decreases people's ability to have access to those fresh fruits and vegetables, things that you were talking about a little bit earlier. So we want to keep that in mind. And then hopefully at the end, we'll be able to talk about how do we access those resources. As LaJuan said earlier, we could go right in our kitchen and find some of these things.
Yes, absolutely. I want to introduce you guys to something. You might already know about this, but this is called jujube, okay? And I knew you would, Miss LaJuan. That's wonderful. So jujube This is my problem when I buy jujube. I'll eat just like half the bag. They're so good. But jujube is actually a Chinese date. And let me show you one sort of up close. So let me my camera there. And they are so good, aren't they? But listen, they are anti-inflammatory, and it's an antioxidant. It fights cancer by killing tumors. It actually helps to keep the blood pressures at a healthy level. I'm reading this because there's so many things. It can lower blood pressure. And guess what? It has the ability to increase the HDL and decrease the LDL. So this is called jujube. And Dr. Tillery, when we all get back together, I'm going to give you some. They are so good.
So, and we're talking about jujube. So where would somebody who's interested in finding it? Because I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, where do you get jujube?
Certainly. So I'll tell you where I find mine, and Miss Luan, you can jump in. There is a Asian store on York Road, and that's where I go. So I find them there. There is an Asian market on Route 40. People tell me that it is amazing. I've not been, but I do know there. And I'm just guessing Baltimore is sort of known for like what I would call the different small ethnic stores, which is great. And so I would think popping into one of those Asian stores or Asian markets, you would definitely find them there. Miss Lawan, where do you find yours?
On Route 40, H&H is an Asian market. Also, that's where I found out all my health things. They also have on 33rd, not far from the hospital. I know it's 33rd, but it's the little Asian store there, where I would get the black seed, the big bottles of black seed.
Wow.
And then that's where I got the jujubes. I was talking to them, and when I came out here, I had bought me like 3-4 things of them.
Yeah.
I was putting them in tea. I was experimenting, but yeah, they were like little raisins. I was raising that.
Yes, they're a treat. I love them. Typically when I buy them, I don't even get them home. I'm without opening a bag, and I'm just munching on them as I'm driving.
I can't stop eating, right?
No. They are really good. And you know what, guys? I want to bring up right now, Miss Lawan, you talked about different herbs and spices. They are great for chronic illness. And one of those herbs, there's so many, but I had to narrow them down. You guys know that I love turmeric, but I'm not going to talk about turmeric tonight. I'm going to highlight some other things. So garlic is one of those things. Garlic is so incredibly beneficial. It is an antibacterial, antiviral, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It is amazing. And I want to just share in a study result of garlic and high blood pressure, because high blood pressure is a driver of heart disease. And so in this study, and I'm going to read this, a study showed people with high blood pressure who took garlic supplements for up to 5 months, listen to this, saw their blood pressures drop significantly, and in some cases drop so much that it compared to them being on high blood pressure medication.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
So garlic in your therapeutic forms, you do your capsules. And then, of course, in your everyday, I can't make anything without garlic. I just absolutely love garlic.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
And ginger is an anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant, antiplatelet. This is what I was really shocked in finding out. There was a study done with men, and for 7 days, these men were given 100 grams of butter daily, every day for 7 days. And so after the 7 days, you know, their blood became sticky. Okay, so the blood became sticky. They were then given 5 grams of ginger, 5 grams of ginger. And guess what? The stickiness dissolved and the clotting went away.
Oh, wow.
So ginger, and I do ginger tablets as well. So, and the last herb that I want to highlight is cinnamon. Cinnamon, when we look at cinnamon, there are different forms, but there is a cinnamon called true cinnamon, and
Yep.
it's Ceylon. Okay, so Ceylon, and Ceylon is called true cinnamon because you do have all of the healing properties. Okay,
Yes.
it's an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal, antivirus, and more. But this is what surprised me about cinnamon. Cinnamon is great for high blood sugar levels because it slows the absorption of sugar even after a high carbohydrate meal. Isn't that amazing?
Wow,
Yeah,
Yes.
that is
yeah,
amazing.
it
Can I
is.
share?
Absolutely.
The cinnamon is in my tea.
Yes.
It's tea. I use the lemon tea. I have a detox tea also. I mix that together with the cinnamon. I use honey. I use kind of just a pinch of the cayenne hot
Uh-huh.
season.
Yes.
That gives you like a energy as well in the morning. It cleans the immune system. With, like I said again, with the coronavirus going on,
Mm-hmm.
that's a 3-day thing: morning, afternoon, and evening before you go to sleep. It's very good, very good.
Yes.
But the cinnamon, yes.
So, Lori, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Somebody just asked another question about CMOS. I know you talked earlier, you guys talked about it, but someone's asking, can you just give us another brief description of CMOS and what it does real
Yes,
quick?
I'm going to defer to Ms. LaWan for that because CMOS is on my health goal list to do, but she is already doing it. So Ms. LaWan?
Because CMOS, it has vitamin, let me go again. CMOS is rich in vitamins and it's loaded with nutrients, which it that is vital to the human body, such as the bromine, sulfur, the calcium, the iodine, magnesium. It helps your skin, hair, your immune system. It has plenty of vitamin C, vitamin B. It has a whole lot of zinc. It's a lot of proteins in it. Beta carotene, if I'm saying it right, CAROTENT. I mean E. Yeah, it has that. But the most thing about it is because you can use this for everything as far as your body. It helps the cholesterol, the high. If you have hypertension, you taking pills and stuff for anything like it. It calms you down.
Wow.
It's a very good CMOS. It has a whole lot essentials in it for your body.
And how do
it's
you
amazing.
take CMOS, Ms. LaWan? How do you take it?
I take the CMOS, like I said, it's 2 to 3 times a day. 2 teaspoons of it in the morning, but I take it now and I put it in my tea. I put it in my food. I'm used to where as though you get used to doing it, and it helps. It keeps you from being tired. If you are diabetic, it helps you with the diabetic, your high blood pressure. My pressure, like I said, has been down like 7 months. With everything that I do, the CMOS, I don't kick out nothing as far as the other stuff that I do. You can put the CMOS in your green drink, but you got to make sure you're drinking enough water. You have to intake plenty of water because you can be dehydrated if you don't do it the right way. However, you drink plenty of water once you take the CMOS. If you just take just CMOS, you're not doing anything else, you still drink the water because you don't want to dehydrate yourself, but it's very good for every part of your body.
And where do you get it from, Ms. LaWan? Where do you get it from?
I ordered from Amazon.com.
Okay. Great. All right.
Ms. LaWan?
Iris. Oh, go ahead.
Ms. LaWan, would you also explain the process? Because people may be surprised, like once they get it, because guys, it looks like it came right out of the sea. It really does. So
Yes.
once they get it, tell them what to do with it.
Okay, once you get it, you're gonna take the sea moss, you're gonna you're gonna soak it. Soak it for 24 hours. Because of the sea moss coming straight from the sea, you still have a lot of the dirt, the sand that's in it. So you wanna you wanna soak it for 24 hours. Me, if I get it, when I got it, I soaked it overnight. And then the next morning, rinse it off. And then you grind it up. You add water. I use the Deer Park water. And you don't have to, and the sea moss expand. And when I say expand, I had took a whole bag, it was 16 ounces, and we thought it was just gonna boil to what no, it expanded. So you take a handful of sea moss, a handful of it, you put it in your beater. When you grind it up with the water or whatever fruit you decide to put with it, grind it up real good. And it's gonna come out, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get a jar just to show you. It's gonna come out nice and good, where it's not lumpy or anything like that.
Does it help with chronic pain, Miss LaJuan?
It do help with chronic pain.
Oh, that's how it would look.
This is the strawberry. I have kiwi and strawberry left.
That
But
looks
yes, this is how it look. It's like a gel vitamin for real. I mean, you take it, like I said, I cook with it.
Yeah.
When you do it, you can put your fruits in once you blend it up. You can use it, that same jar, you can take some, put it in your tea. If you're cooking, you can take it with that as well. It does a lot. Like I said, it has a lot of essentials in there for vitamins, the zinc, all that is in there. And it's very important when you do it. Don't just do it and just stop. Do it on a continued basis. Get used to doing it every day, because it do help. It might not seem like it's working. Try 14 days after that, it's working.
So you're saying consistency is the key.
Yeah.
Another question, Lori, that we have is cinnamon. How much cinnamon should we take?
That is a great question. It depends on what the person's goal is. So that it's definitely gonna be goal oriented. So again, you can do cinnamon in tablets or capsules rather. So that is going to be more of a therapeutic dose. You can do cinnamon in tea, just like Miss LaJuan said. You can do cinnamon, well, you can definitely add it to tea. You can add it to other things as well, foods, but it depends on what your goal is. Mm-hmm. It's going to be different from bringing, somebody trying to bring down blood sugar levels to, I just want to flavor my food. But I would say for that person to definitely go on a search, read some published articles that are backed by science, find out what their goal is, and try to match and see if they can find, the dosage.
That's a great answer. I think we always are looking for evidence-based.
You have to. Everything that we talk about, Dr. Tillery, that in our group, everything is evidence-based. This is not, I think this sounds good. No, it's got to come with science.
Exactly.
It's got to come with science. Also, did someone have a question about pain? Because turmeric is very good.
Yes, they had a question about pain, and it was relating it to the sea moss. But if you could talk about pain with turmeric, that would be great.
Yeah, turmeric is wonderful for so many things, and pain is definitely one of them. So my experiences have been really through other people. Shoulder pain, back pain, elbow pain. The turmeric, because it is a very potent anti-inflammatory. Yeah, so turmeric. And I do turmeric, of course, in food, but I do it in capsules as well. So just about everything that I have a spice for, I have a capsule for as well.
Wonderful.
Yes, turmeric is very strong. I made toothpaste with it. It was coconut oil and turmeric. I made a toothpaste with it.
That is perfect.
So between Lori and Miss LaJuan, you guys could write a natural healing book.
We definitely could. Definitely.
Yeah. But turmeric is real potent because it's like the color in it. If you're going to use it, you got to make sure you're using it in a container that you can throw away or whatever, because the turmeric is very, very potent.
Yes.
It'll dye. You know, if you want some turmeric to dye your pants, you can do that. But yeah,
Really, the color,
yeah, the color in it.
Yes. And guys, as we continue, I want to bring up an herb that it's really great for health in general, but also for lung health. And as we are faced with the coronavirus that definitely attacks lungs, this is something that's great for it. And this is a great lung protector. So I'm going to do the bag this way. And this is called marshmallow root. So if people can kind of see this, this is marshmallow root, okay? And when you add water to the marshmallow root, you get a gel-like substance, okay? So this is my marshmallow root in water, okay? Everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
And you can drink it. I add a little cinnamon to it and drink it. Some people make marshmallow root tea. This one is actually a cold concoction, so I have that in the refrigerator, but it's an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It breaks up mucus in the body, especially the lungs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really good because it's used to treat infections in different parts of the body, but especially respiratory infections as well as bronchitis. So it's great for lung health, okay? And that is marshmallow roots. And you might be saying, well, are marshmallows made from it? Actually, they are. So marshmallow root. Yeah, so it gels up once you add water and let it sit. And it's a great lung protectant.
Wow, great. Thank
That's
you for
new for
sharing
me.
that.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one.
I'm
Yeah,
writing it down also.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Marshmallow root. Yes.
Hey. And you
Well,
can drink it cold.
Yes, these are, I think,
You can drink it cold or hot. Yes.
these are all great. I mean, to have this kind of information is when I talked about accessibility and affordability earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And as it relates to, you know, particularly be having access to those things within our community. And I think, again, I have to repeat that again. I think that's awesome to say that we have these things right here or in our kitchens that we can go and actually find.
Yeah.
So with that question, someone is asking about marshmallow root taste. They're taking my question. How does it taste?
It's a good question. I'm trying to compare. It's a very mild, it doesn't taste anything like marshmallow, but it's a very mild taste. Trying to figure out something I could compare it to. It does not taste bad at all. And like I said, I like to drink it. I'll put it in a smoothie or I'll add a little cinnamon to it, but it's not bad at all. Sorry, I don't have a taste to compare it to, but it's a very mild taste. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Well, I'm sure that's answered that question. You know, most people like to hear that it has a pretty good taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have an overwhelming taste.
Correct.
So that's great.
Yeah.
The old saying is everything that don't taste good is good for you.
I agree.
Yes. Another question coming in, Lori.
I agree.
Turmeric.
Uh-huh.
How can I use turmeric? Someone's asking.
Okay. So turmeric is sort of the base for different types of curries. So you can use turmeric to cook, okay, which I love to. I especially like the combination of turmeric and coconut milk. I don't know why, there's just something about it that makes food delicious. Okay, another way that I use turmeric, and then Miss LaWan can share how she uses it. I do a drink called golden milk. Okay, so in the golden milk, I'll choose a nut milk. Most of the time, it's almond milk with vanilla added. And so then I do 2 teaspoons of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. We talked about those benefits. And 1 teaspoon of ginger, and we talked about those benefits. And then I'll do a natural sweetener. My choice is monk fruit. So my choice is monk fruit sweetener. Sometimes I'll do a little honey if I don't, whichever one. And it's called golden milk. You mix it all together, and it is a nice warm tea. It is, it's more than a tea because it's a very milky consistency, but it's very good. I use turmeric that way. And I also take turmeric capsules as well.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing. So you can just you can just put turmeric over your food as you cook.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. With putting turmeric in your food, add pepper. I forgot about that. Pepper increases the absorption by 2,000%. So even in doing the golden milk, I add pepper, a little bit of pepper. Yes, thank you for
Okay. Great. So we could get Miss. So you could tell that Miss LaJuan has a lot of energy. She's all over the place.
Oh, I was
energy
cooking.
of
I'm
a
sorry.
15-year-old, remember she said?
So Miss LaJuan, so how do you use your turmeric?
Well, when I use the turmeric, I use it to like soups. Beans, I put in the beans.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting down one day and I seen the coconut oil sitting there and the turmeric, and I was looking something up and I said, let me mix this together. And then I made a toothpaste. Messy, like I said, but I tried it out. It's pretty good. It helps get spots off your teeth. Just something that I tried. And then after you brush with the turmeric, you use the coconut itself, coconut oil, and you take it and you rub it across your teeth. And that helps to kind of, I guess, moisturize and get the stains or whatever. You rinse well. So it was just an experience that I tried. I mean, I never went to school for it, but I try any of the experiments when it comes to the health.
Well, wonderful. So listen, guys, I know we're running out of time. So I want to go back to Lori. Lori, is there anything that you can leave us with, related to what can help us moving forward? Because, again, we're looking at COVID-19. That seems to be on everybody's tongues right now. COVID-19, what can we do to protect ourselves? There are all type of, this is becoming political. Do we wear a mask? Do we not wear a mask? Are we supposed to be out? Are we 6 feet apart? So can you tell us something that makes a natural piece that will help us when we go out and how we protect our immune system? And then when you answer that, then I'll have another question for you.
Okay, so very quickly, everything that we all discussed here, all the things that I talked about and Ms. LaJuan talked about, do them or try them or, just learn about them, because things that are in your kitchen, they are health. They really, the whole foods, they are health. So some other things that I would say in terms of COVID, vitamin D levels. Vitamin D levels are very, very important. Protective levels are 50 nanograms, okay? 50 nanograms over milliliters. So it'll be 50 ng over nl. Or ml, I'm sorry. And I know that might not make a lot of sense now. I'm just trying to sum things up, but we need vitamin D as a protectant. About 42% of the population is deficient in vitamin D. And vitamin D is important because vitamin D has to be present in the body for other minerals to get into our cells. So again, I don't have time to explain that, but vitamin D, getting those levels up to 50 ng over ml. How do I do that? I use a vitamin D3 supplement. You're going to see different types, but vitamin D3 is the most bioavailable, okay? And you do want the type that is cholecalciferol, okay? Cholecalciferol. Other things I would say, in addition, lower the chronic stress. Stress shuts down the immune system, so we have to find ways to lower that stress. Exercise, and again, that helps with heart health, that helps with inflammation, that helps with stress. Lowering our inflammation, we talked about that because the foods and the herbs and the spices and exercise helps to lower the inflammation. And also critical, sleep. You've got to sleep. The power hours of sleep are 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I want to share something with you. this is what I take before I go to bed. Okay, this is magnesium. Magnesium calms the brain and it calms the body. Okay, so magnesium comes in different forms. This is a little fizzy drink. And so I like this before I go to bed. It really helps to promote a restful sleep. You can get magnesium, of course, good old Epsom salt. Soak your feet, do a Epsom salt bath. One other thing, these are flakes, magnesium flakes. I don't know if you can see them very well in here, but you can make a magnesium oil. Combine this with equal parts of water. You can spray it on your body. It will sting if you are magnesium deficient, and then your levels will build up. Or you can take a magnesium supplement. So all of these things, all of our lifestyle choices, all of our health choices play a big role in the health of our brains, the health of our bodies. And so those are the things that I would leave people with. And I would also say that there's hope. There's hope. No matter what your nutritional situation is, there is hope to improve it.
Wonderful. And I have one more question, Lori, before you leave. Someone is asking, is it okay to use turmeric caplets combined with ginger and apple cider vinegar? That's an interesting combination.
Yep. So every morning I do my turmeric capsules and my ginger capsules. So turmeric, ginger, apple cider vinegar, nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's a great combination.
Yes, this is great for them to go back to the naturals. So listen, guys, we're out of time. I think that it's a lot of information. As you were talking, I'm writing down different things also. So look at how we can actually, particularly those jujubes. I'm really interested in trying those. So
I'll get some for you.
I
got them out here.
And I know Miss LaJuan has some in her kitchen.
Yes, right by the health stores. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I want to say thank you to our viewers that tuned in. I also want to say a special thank you to Lori. It's always awesome. I always learn something every time you come on. Every time you come into our classes and you talk to our survivors, they leave with so much appreciation for the information that they obtained from you. Miss LaJuan, special thank you to you. She's one of our survivors. And as I said before earlier, she has been a role model to a lot of her peers in the group, has given so much information to them that they often come back to me and ask me, who was this lady? So thank you, a special thank you to you. So I want to say before you leave, I want to say we're still in the middle of a pandemic. And I would say, please take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones. Please wear masks. I know that it's becoming so political now, whether you wear a mask, if you don't. And I would say anything, much like what we talked about today, that can help you live longer and protect you. Why not use it?
That's
know? So keep it 6 feet apart. That's always great. I know the weather is warm and we want to get out. We can still do a lot of great things, but without being kind of packed in with everybody, because when we go out and we wear a mask, a lot of times we think we're protecting ourselves. We're also protecting other people, from that. So I want to say, stay healthy, stay strong. Please reach out to those individuals that cannot get out, those individuals that are in nursing homes, our senior citizens, people with disability, just pick up the phone, encourage them. Give them something of hope, as you talked about a little earlier, Lori, that it is hope that's out there. We know there's a lot going on in our world, but sometimes just some encouraging words, just to say it's going to be okay, can make somebody's day. So again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We will be back in July, and we would have some more interesting topics that we would like to share with everyone. Also, the crab feast for Roberta's House is coming up in August. Tomorrow is the last day for people that are interested in purchasing the bricks for our new building in memory of your loved one. So please go on the website and check it out. Again, have a wonderful, blessed week, everyone. And thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.